Hi everybody, Clarity Tarot here, back with another pick a card reading. This time it's going to be what is the apology or acknowledgement you deserve to hear. So observe the cards here. We have the Seven of Swords or the Seven of Spades. We have the Two of Pentacles or the Two of Diamonds. And we have the Nine of Pentacles or the Nine of Diamonds. So think about a person or situation which you needed some acknowledgement that you never got or an apology that you never got. Pick your pile and I will see you there. And we're going to start here with the Seven of Swords. So thanks for coming. While you're here, please take a moment and like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more content like this. Also, if you have any particular questions you'd like to hear, please feel free to suggest those. Yeah, and any other comments about what things resonated for you or didn't, I'd be curious to hear. And so for pile one, the acknowledgement or apology you need to hear. I'm going to lay these out and then I'm going to speak as if I was that person. And we'll go from there. And I'll pull clarifiers as we go if needed. This is the Ethereal Visions deck, by the way. Okay, so what we have out here, we have the King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. We have Ten of Wands, Three of Swords reverse, King of Wands, Death, and the Artist. The Artist is a bonus card in the Ethereal Visions deck. It's about, you guessed it, creativity, art, finding the artist and the muse within. All right, let me just tune in here for a minute and we'll get your message. Make sure you can see all of those. So I just want to start out by acknowledging that when this all went down between us, I was so overloaded just with work responsibilities. Everything was on my shoulders. I felt like I couldn't take one more thing, and it wasn't just a feeling, like I literally could not. I was so overcommitted in so many different areas of my life. I don't even know why I did that to myself. Looking back now, it seems really foolish, but that's just where I was at the time. And also, my heart was completely shut down. I had gone through some massive heartbreak. I don't think it actually had much to do with you. It was just this time in my life that I went through where it just seems like I got just splayed wide open. And the last thing I was going to do would be to invest my heart or emotions in anything at the moment, particularly when I was feeling like this. I mean, you can understand that, right? Like, this is me, stabbed through the heart with 3 different swords and then this huge bushel of rods on my back. On top of that, sorry for the brief interruption there. So the other thing I wanted to let you know is, you know, I've kind of always been this character, King of Wands, which doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a male person, by the way, but, you know, for me, it's been all about energy and fire and passion and lust and kind of where the wind takes me. But since I met you, or since we were in this situation together, I've really been going through this process of change. It's been really painful, actually. And there have been some parts of this part of me, of my personality, that have been falling away. And what I'm seeing is underneath is actually all that like passion and fieriness comes from my creativity and the way that I look at the world. And I'm actually a person that has a lot of kind of like latent creative gifts that I haven't used. And since everything kind of fell apart in my life, I'm starting to see those more. And overall, this transformation is helping me become more this King of Pentacles, somebody that's more stable and grounded, who is kind of master of his domain, his or her domain, or their domain. And this whole experience was necessary for me to do that. I know that doesn't have a lot to do with you, so let me get back to you. And actually, I'm going to pull a couple cards for you. So let's see where the viewer is in this scenario. Just a little more clarification on that before I get more into my apology. I mean, generally what I can say so far, Knight of Pentacles, is that I kind of, 4 Wands and 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, I kind of just blew right by you. I wasn't paying enough attention. I definitely noticed you, but it seemed like connecting with you was going to slow me down or something. Even though I felt really drawn to you, I could sense that you have kind of what I needed as a balance to my personality. But I didn't want to see that about myself, that I needed anything or anyone, first of all. And I certainly didn't want it to be, from somebody that's practical and earthy and responsible and just like a really good person. And I know that says not great things about me, but I can be kind of full of myself and kind of always looking for the next thing and not paying attention to what's right in front of me. I'm realizing now that this was really about me just avoiding that creative part of myself. Because if you think about it, if someone's like always looking for the next thing, like they're always looking for inspiration. And what kind of person is that? Well, usually somebody that's creative or that has some kind of artistic flair that's needing to come through. And now that I'm doing more of that, I'm able to not be so impulsive and, I don't know, terrible and run over people occasionally like I did to you. So I do have to say that I don't know if, beyond this apology, I'm ever really going to come around and make this right. I'm kind of too proud for that. But it definitely seems like you have your head on straight and you'll be fine anyway. So I hope that, that you'll be able to let me go and move on, even though I kind of did you wrong in this situation. So sorry for kind of drawing you into my whirlwind and then spitting you out. Okay, pile 1. So I'm going to draw some advice for you because that was kind of not a very considerate message there at the end. And please take what resonates and leave what doesn't from these messages. So, yeah, I'm just really getting that person just kind of couldn't be bothered. And it wasn't about you. It was no commentary on you. It's just they were very caught up in their own sense of self. So as their advice for pile 1 with this person, Ace of Cups reversed. So let the love and affection that you have for this person kind of run dry. You've spent enough of your love and affection on them, and don't nurture the connection, the Wheel reversed. So I'm sorry if that's kind of a tough message to hear. So if pile 1 takes this advice, what will be the outcome? If pile 1 takes this advice, what will be the outcome? So we have 3 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles and the Chariot. So things are going to start moving forward for you, pile 1. You're going to be able to plant seeds in a lot of different areas and see what grows. You're going to have a strong sense of teamwork. professionally as well as personally. And so the Chariot is not just about moving forward, it's about moving forward in partnership with someone or something else. See, the Chariot here has two lion heads. So you need both sides of the Chariot to keep it balanced, right? So this is about two people coming together. So so what I'm getting from here is if you take this advice, you will be in a balanced partnership where someone is going to give you what you deserve and invest the same amount that you will. And this person certainly didn't seem like they had it in them for anyone to do that for anyone. I also feel a need to mention, I know it's hard to watch these readings sometimes and get kind of a negative message, but you're watching a reading that is what didn't get acknowledged, and the reason you're watching that is because the person you really need it from doesn't have the capacity to do it. And at some level, you probably know that. There are certain situations, where someone just doesn't know the words to say or is inhibited in some other way, but in this case, it seems like this person is just kind of too full of themselves. And I think you know that. Pile 1. So let me know if it resonated for you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know if it did or didn't. And hope to see you next time. Thanks, Pile 1. Okay, Pile 2, the Two of Pentacles. So what is the acknowledgement or apology that you needed that you didn't get? So I'm going to lay these cards out, and then I'm going to speak as if I were that person. All right, Pile 2. And while I'm doing this, please take a moment, like, share, and subscribe. I'd love it if you'd leave a comment on this video. Let me know what resonated for you or what didn't. And also, if there's a particular question or reading you'd like me to do, feel free to suggest that and I can do it in a future video. So the apology or acknowledgements you didn't hear. Okay, we have the Six of Swords in reverse, the Three of Pentacles underneath, and then here in front of me I have the Three of Swords, the Three of Cups in reverse, the High Priestess, the King of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Ace of Wands. Okay. All right. Sorry about the background noise there, Pile 2. Okay, here we go. So, I just want to acknowledge that this was really unfair, that I broke your heart, that I put you in a situation where, where there was another person involved, and I didn't choose you. I kept all my thoughts and feelings just repressed inside myself. I turned cold on you. I went hot and cold on you. And all along you had the sense, and I know you could feel just the passion, the excitement, the desire I had to explore this together with you, to see where we could go, to see, what this connection was between us. And I just couldn't follow through. I couldn't follow through. It was too much for me. I wasn't man, woman, person enough to rise to the challenge. And I actually have a lot of grief and sadness about that, and shame, actually. Shame would be the word. I'm embarrassed. When I met you, it felt like I could do anything. I could conquer any obstacle and nothing would hold me back. And just as things went along, things started to slip. I got really scared. Then I turned cold. But even so, I know that you could always sense that I still held this feeling and this desire for you. And I wasn't able to come forward with that and change the situation. There was just something about this situation that I couldn't leave behind. And it wasn't that I couldn't do it. It was just that I felt too overwhelmed to. I didn't have the courage, and I didn't take the action steps that I needed to. And there's any number of reasons why I didn't. You actually probably know those reasons. But the reasons don't matter, because the truth is that you deserve better, and I didn't give you what you deserved. I gave you the illusion that things could be different, that I could be the kind of person that you needed, where I did my half of the work in the relationship, and then I just didn't show up for you. And I'm really sorry about that. I hope you can forgive me. It's strange because at other times in my life, I've been able to address challenges like the ones we had in our relationship, like conflict resolution, working through those initial stages of getting to know each other and figuring out how to communicate well. I am able to do that. I'm capable of doing it. I just underestimated the degree to which this situation was going to keep my hands tied. There were certain things I felt like weren't ethical to do or to work through with you at the level of intimacy that was required. And so my loyalties and commitments elsewhere from kind of an ethical and moral point of view kept me from doing what would have been right by you in the situation. And I'm very aware that there was just no winners here. But beyond that, there certainly was a loser. Someone got the short end of the stick. And I feel like that was you. And that wasn't fair. You didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve to be brought into this in the first place. And I'm just sorry about that and that it happened. I am going to make this right. I don't have a plan for that yet because I'm still sorting out these elements in my life, whatever those might be. You'll know for your situation. But when I do, when I get all that sorted, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to at least give you this apology in person in a way that really kind of atones for what happened here. I'm really sorry that I haven't done it yet. There is a good reason, at least in my mind, there's a good reason why I haven't done it yet. It actually is no longer because of fear. There is some other reason that I'm holding that back. Let's just clarify that. What is the reason that this apology or acknowledgement isn't coming forward yet? Whoa. 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. We also have 2 of Cups, 5 of Cups, and 5 of Pentacles. So there's a possibility that either I'm in a relationship or you're in a relationship. So that presents kind of an ethical challenge for me. There's also just a lot that I'm working through, like the grief of this situation, as well as the pain of you being removed from my life. Those things are slowing me down a little bit. Because when I come and give this apology, I want it to be totally unselfish in the sense that I don't want to be coming to you asking for anything. I want to be just able to give you the closure that you need without being in this really clingy, sad, kind of pathetic, actually, energy from missing you. I don't feel like laying that on you on top of everything else would be fair. And I get the sense that actually you would kind of prefer that. You'd prefer some communication sooner rather than later, regardless of how messy it is. But it's just hard for me to see past what I want what I would want if the roles are reversed, and that would be for someone to focus completely on me. And so even though I know it doesn't feel like love or care or concern to you, it really is me trying to do the unselfish thing. So you will hear from me at some point and get this apology in person. But please just know that I see completely that that you didn't deserve this, and I wish it was different, and I could have been a better person for you, pile 2. All right, that's your reading, pile 2. Please let me know if it resonated in the comments. I'd be curious to hear. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. All right, pile 3, we had the 9 of Pentacles. So for you, what is the apology or acknowledgement that you need to hear? So these have been quite different so far. One very contrite person, and one who was kind of a jerk, frankly. So we'll see what you have here. And in the meantime, while I'm shuffling these, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you have an idea for a particular video or a question that you would like answered. We can do that. Okay, and let's get to your reading. So I'm gonna lay out the spread, and then I'll speak as if I am that person delivering the apology. All right, pile 3. Okay, pile 3, apology or acknowledgement from someone. I'm going to put those back. Actually, I don't think they meant to come out like that. Ten of Swords reversed. The Fool reversed, Ace of Swords reversed. Eight of Cups. Judgment in reverse. Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. All right, let me just take a moment here. So I guess what I'd like to do is acknowledge what happened here, although it's hard for me to see that I did anything wrong exactly. I had just come out of a situation where that kind of, meeting you kind of reminded me of that other situation that I had just come out of, where I was stabbed in the back pretty intensely with 10 swords. And I'd just gotten to the point where I was starting to feel okay again, but there was no way I was going to take any risk whatsoever. And so when this confusion came up, I just wasn't willing to take a risk. And you might think that just having a conversation about something wouldn't be a risk, but to me, just bringing that clarity and telling the truth in a way that's vulnerable was just way more than I wanted to deal with. It was painful for me to walk away though, and to leave that behind. I also though was thinking, like, if I could just leave this as it is and don't address it right now, then maybe there won't be a judgment call made on it yet. Maybe I can kind of delay the inevitable if I just leave this on red or don't actually address whatever the issue is, then maybe we can circle back. Well, and actually what I was really hoping is if we didn't address it, it would just kind of disappear and everything would work itself out, and I wouldn't have to really come to terms with anything that I did or be held accountable for my actions. Because to tell you the truth, while this was going on, I was trying really hard not to even see it was going on. I was feeling really defensive. Sorry, that's upright. I was feeling really defensive. I wasn't wanting to even allow myself to be affected by you in any way. So when I did start to feel affected by what we went through, I shut that down as soon as I could. I ran away from that feeling. I refused to acknowledge. It was kind of the equivalent of la 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 la, like putting your fingers in your ears. That's what I was doing this whole time. So, yeah, I mean, you may think that I'm not a very nice person or something for that, but I don't think that makes me actually wrong. But I do want to acknowledge that I did that, and maybe that's not what you wanted, or maybe it wasn't fair to you. But to me, saying I'm sorry means that I very clearly did something that was wrong or evil to you, and I just don't know that I did in this situation. I was just protecting myself. But I want to see maybe if I didn't have to protect myself, what I would actually say to you right now instead of this. I should also mention that I'm very sensitive to criticism, and at the time we were going through this, I felt like I just could not have one more bad thing said about me or I might break. And so I just avoided those conversations completely. Let's see if I can get one more about what I would actually say to you instead of this trying to avoid being criticized speech I just gave you. Whoa. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, lots of sevens, Seven of Cups at the bottom, Three of Wands, and Four of Wands. I was just lying to myself about this. Really what I want and what I've always wanted is to see where things go with you, to plant a few seeds, see what takes root, to come together, to look to the future. And the truth is that you feel like home to me. You're somebody that I have this sense of, I don't know, solidarity with. Feels like we're really connected, like we're the opposite but the same in some way. But it seems strange to say that to you. I mean, I can't really say that to you when I've been so avoidant and dismissive and defensive. That wouldn't even make sense. You may not even believe me that that's actually how I see you, because I certainly don't act like that. And I know, this isn't the kind of apology, quote unquote, that you deserve or explanation, but I'm just trying to give you my side of the story. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do about this in the future. Let's see. 2 wands. Anything else? King of Cups. Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna change the trajectory of this. I'm gonna make my own luck. I'm gonna stop being defensive. I'm gonna plan ahead. I might even travel to you, actually, and I'm gonna show you some of my softer side and my emotional side. I mean, don't expect me to do it all the time because King of Cups, I don't show it that often, but it is there and I would like you to see that it's there. So I am going to open up to you and share this with you at some point. I get that it's not going to be necessarily on your timetable because I'm not as good at this as you are. But at least in the meantime, I hope you can see that I do acknowledge kind of what happened here, that it wasn't what you needed at all to start with, and also just, I don't know that I could have been any different at the time, but I will be different in the future, and I'm hoping that we can start over. Okay, thanks, pile 3. Hope that resonated. If it did, leave a like, comment, or subscribe. And I'll hope to see you in the next reading. Thanks. Bye-bye.